30, 35? Yeah, I'll give it 35. I'll say 35. Greetings, YouTube. This is Mike Haley 7. And I'm riding to work again on the 23rd of January, 2020. And today, I have a topic, actually, that I thought of this morning. I was reading a comment by someone. I think his name was Don. Maybe it was Don C. I can't remember now. But the person's comment was awesome because it made me think. And here it is. It concerns the requirement to concentrate when you're on a motorcycle. What do I mean by that? Well, when you're on a motorcycle, your life could very easily end if you're distracted. And there's evidence of this far and wide, where people don't pay attention. They judge a corner wrong because they're not paying attention, or they're looking at their cell phone, or, doot, or they're doing their map, or there's all kinds of ways you can get distracted. But if you're really in the moment, which is what motorcycling tends to do to you, you focus. And that focus changes you. It makes you more in the moment. And it's almost like a meditation. And I think in today's distracted world, where we're constantly being bombarded by media, the TV screens and cell phone screens and computer screens, and social media, people are constantly bombarded by input from all these distracting sources, demanding our attention. And I think it's important to abandon all of that when you're riding and just focus on what you're doing, where you're going. To quote Yoda, never his mind on where he was, what he was doing. Clink, clink, clink. So you should have your mind on where you are and what you're doing when you're on a motorcycle. And I think that's a really important getaway from the constant onslaught. Now, of course, people do bring their phones on their bikes. I have mine on me right now. I don't have it here right now, but you know what I mean. And that is a distraction, I think, that it can help in a way because you get directions off of it, but it can also kill you. And it can ruin the experience of riding. If you've got your phone there and you're constantly getting text messages and you're doing this, that is not the point of having that phone there. The point of having that phone there is you can use the map function if you need to. You can play songs and stuff. It's supposed to be minimal on there. Maybe that's why one of the things they got is the CarPlay for the bike. So you can look there instead, and you can just talk to your communication device and make the Apple Play work. So that is a very important aspect of motorcycle riding that people don't realize until they get into it. And you just feel at one with something. You're not thinking, you're doing. And I think that's an important thing. It's Zen. It's really Zen. Zen is the art of being in the moment, in the zone. You're not thinking, you're doing. All your senses are engaged in this activity of riding. Which brings me to another point that I think is important to consider if you want to ride. And that point is, do you have empathy? If you can intuit what a person is thinking and feeling by looking at them, then you have empathy. And if you can intuit what a person is thinking and feeling and planning to do by the way the vehicle moves in a given situation, then you have road empathy. And I think that is a really important skill. If you don't have it, you should develop it. I don't even know if it can be developed. If you don't have empathy, you just don't. I don't know if you can develop it or not. But I have it. And I think part of it is because of where I grew up. I'm from Lynn, Massachusetts, and Bostonian drivers are notorious for being very aggressive, very fast, and chaotic seeming to outsiders. It's almost like you're a fighter pilot when you're a Bostonian driver. And in Lynn, Mass, it's even worse. It's even more aggressive. You'll notice in Massachusetts when somebody's coming out of a... there's probably other places too, but I noticed it. When someone comes out of a side street and they want to enter the flow of traffic, they enter that intersection quickly, slam on brakes at the end, and you feel like they're coming out on you all the time. If you're used to driving down here where people don't do it quite as aggressively. So when I was up there, I learned, I could tell if a car was going to come in on me or not, or was trying to pass me from the right or the left or not. I could tell just by the movement of the car because I was paying attention. And I have that extrasensory perception, I guess you could call it, of what people are planning on doing. Of course, you can't always predict. It's not 100% foolproof, but I've gotten myself out of many a situation. Like right here, right? One of these idiots could suddenly go over. So I'm watching these idiots, and I call them idiots just because it helps me to think about it. They're not really idiots, but you know what I mean. You watch the traffic and you see what they're doing, and you can figure out what the best course of action is. There is a thing in motorcycle safety, search, evaluate, execute. So you're constantly searching for possible problems, and you evaluate the problem, and then you execute your response to it. And if you're not paying attention, you can't do it. And sometimes everybody gets distracted. I get distracted, everybody does. Motovlogging, for example. I've done it for so long now that I can kind of do both at the same time, and it's not really a big deal. Right, as you can, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm looking in my mirror to make sure that that truck behind me is not gaining too quickly. And notice the distance I'm keeping between me and the vehicle in front. Nobody's going to be coming in on me. I've got my mirrors covered so I know who's there. So this kind of awareness, I think, is very important if you're going to be a safe motorcyclist. I see this truck up here. I'm thinking, is he going to turn right, go into Wake Tech? No. All right, I can get behind him now. Watch out for this van on the left. Notice I get in the right side of the lane. Give me extra time just in case. Moving back to the left side of the lane, making sure I'm defending it. This car on the right, I'm watching out for him. Turn signal on. See, this is the kind of stuff that you're doing on a motorcycle that has to be done well. So if you don't know how to pay attention, if you don't have that preternatural sense of what others are going to do, then maybe you shouldn't ride. It's my Kaylee 7. That's my thoughts for today. If you want a break from distraction, ride a motorcycle. I'll talk to you later.